Also, on previous topic, I always wonder why the people who complain about the TV system in general even played the game when the TVs are such a big part of ZZZ. I personally thought and still think they're really fun. It's one of the reasons I wanted to play in the first place. So this kind of goes back to what I said about Snowbreak. And this is like kind of also talking about why I kind of wish they didn't completely remove TVs. But like they're keeping it events and shit, so I think it's fine. But my main point of one of the things about Snowbreak was that it felt like the developers had a key identity and like feel for the game that they want to create. And when they saw that nobody fucking liked it, they like kind of folded and just released porn. And I feel like ZZZ is the same way, where the developers clearly had a theme and, you know, a type of motif for their game, and nobody fucking liked it. And then ZZ devs just folded, and then we're like, all right. But like, I guess in ZZZ's case, it's not as bad because they're not completely folding. They're keeping TVs around, but just not for story mode, which is, I think, is a good choice, right? So I don't think the way ZZZ's doing is terrible. That's why I don't agree that ZZZ switching off of TVs is like a fix. I don't think that's a fix. I think that's more of a direction change for the game. Because I think we could all agree what ZZZ was looking like at 1.0 and what it was going to be as a game, identity-wise, has changed quite a bit to what it is now. Like, I thought originally it was going to be a very much puzzle-based game with, like, roguelike element into combat. But now, that's all gone. It's literally just like Honkai Impact 3rd. It's literally Honkai Impact 3rd, right? With some TVs and events. So, you know, like, I think it's more an identity change than an actual fucking, like, complete, like, fix. How did Snowbreak change their core gameplay besides adding more adult content? No, I think when Snowbreak came out, the whole point of the game was supposed to be this anime FPS mobile game, right? Where it's about shooting and like the FPS aspect or the third person, right, aspect, third person shooter aspect. I think everybody can agree, still is. Okay, Mr. Aldo, tell me what part of the shooting part of the game really changed that much and has improved. Because every time I ask Snowbreak players if they've improved any part of that gameplay, they say nothing. Because all of the development work is going into making fucking Coomer bait. Like, that's my whole point. Like, when Snowbreak came out, I thought they were really gonna, like, flesh out a shooter. You know, your point was the core idea of the game change. Yes. I think everybody who plays... What do you mean? I think everybody who plays Snowbreak can agree the core identity of Snowbreak has changed from being a shooter, anime shooter game to a fucking Coomer game. Is anybody here when they think Snowbreak, do they think, oh, that's that FPS third-person shooter anime girl game? Or is it the one, do they think, oh, it's the one where you get to touch their tits and the shower scenes? And, like, I don't think anybody is thinking about the shooting part anymore. All right? Most people are thinking about the Coomer part. Okay? Like, the shooter aspect has been completely overshadowed is my point. Right? Both? Okay. I mean, I guess you could think that way, but I don't think so. I mean, I feel like that's what someone playing Snowbreak might think. But anybody who doesn't play Snowbreak, if you ask them what Snowbreak is about, they would not tell you shooting. They would tell you gooning. Like, legitimately. Well, no shit. And that's what I'm saying. That I feel like the core identity of the game changed. Chat, when Snowbreak first came out, you want to know how I identified Snowbreak? I identified Snowbreak as, when I told chat we're going to play Snowbreak, I was like, it's that anime shooter game. That's how I identified we were going to play Snowbreak, to explain to people. You know what people call Snowbreak now? They don't call it the anime shooting game. They call it the fucking Gooner game. They call it Gooner Break. They don't call it fucking... That's what I'm saying. The identity has shifted, right? It is no longer solely about shooting. I call it Snow Peak, whatever. I mean, we do shoot something, but not in the gun in game. I feel like the sex appeal in ZZ was originally part of the plan, unlike Snowbreak. Like, we already. Well, no, we're not talking about the sex appeal. All right, ZZZ's identity, we're talking about TVs. Skills have better animations. The guns gotten better. Some mods are more streamlined, but still the combat feels mid, not close to Warframe or Destiny. Exactly. That's what I thought Snowbreak was going to do. So, when Snowbreak first came out, they had a pretty cool modes where it was kind of like SimU, and you would get buffs and there'd be wave after wave and like stuff like that, and there'd be like a tower and stuff like that. I thought they were gonna go more into that route of fleshing out the shooter aspect and maybe like, you know, a more like dungeon crawler aspect or, you know, stuff like that, but they just didn't. They just threw that out the window and like, tits, how do we animate tits better? And, you know, Snowbreak has a Fall Guys event. I did see that. You know, I feel like that's the way Snowbreak kind of shifts, where they do like mini games plus Gunner with shooting like somewhere in there, right? I think that's like the strat that they're going with. TV was not a technical problem. It's a game design choice. Not having team preset is. If you think TV is ass, you have the right to, but some people like it, not me though. And if the game shifts identity, why even was it made? However, if the devs are okay for that change, then it's fine. Yeah, that's my point, right? That's what I'm saying. The TV's changing is not really a fix. It's more like an identity change. I am. So it's like, it's a mixed bag, right? So when a game like ZZZ decides to shift its identity, it feels bad because you have to think. It's like this, chat. Okay, it's like this. Let's say I'm an artist and I drew this and I was like, oh my god, it's my masterpiece. Whoa, oh, so fucking beautiful. Oh my god. And I was like, everybody, look at this. And then I showed it to like 50 people and they were like, this shit's ugly as fuck. And I'm like, oh, I guess. Fuck. I guess I'll draw an apple because this is the meta. This is what all the artists are doing. Wow, here's my apple. Everybody's like, oh my god, we love it. And it's like, okay, but this isn't what I wanted to create. But it's like, okay, this is what people want. So this is like, so that's why I'm saying, like, as a thought for the developers who wanted the TVs to be an identity for ZZZ, it's kind of sad, right? But like, if that's the game people want, you kind of, it is what it is, right? It's unfortunate, right?
Only the brave.
I don't know. ZZZ's not just TVs though, but like you can clearly tell they really wanted to keep the TVs like as a main focal point of the game. But when so many people were against it, they were like, we can't keep this shit. We're removing it, you know? The TV mode and Snake suck ass if they force you to deal with it. It does feel like ZZZ bended the knee too much, but it's still early. I just hope they don't listen a little too much. That's the other thing with Wuwa. That's the other thing with Wuwa, man. I love Wuwa for all the changes that they're doing. Sometimes I worry they'd listen too much. But you know one thing they should listen to? Fucking take Yoo-Hoo off a fucking Gion banner, you cocksuckers. Please. Like, listen, if there's anything you need to listen to, Wuwa, it's this. Nobody's rolling on Gion banner for Yoo-Hoo, okay? Please. Please. Just put her on Shorekeeper. It makes no fucking sense. Alright? Rex is? That's because Rex spends fucking millions of dollars, alright? I ain't got that kind of money to toss at Wuwa. Wait, is Yoo-Hoo not on Shorekeeper banner? No! She's on Gion's banner. That's fucking ass. They love to put new 4-stars on old 5-star banner. Yeah, I'm saying I hate that, man.